Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. I'm your beat reporter for Michigan State Spartans on SI, Aidan Champion. We didn't get to it yesterday because we were covering Michigan State basketball and their home and away conference slate for next year, but Michigan State did land another commit, another edge rusher. This time, Cam Williams from Georgia State had posted 19 tackles, four for loss, a sack, played in 10 games. That was his only season with Georgia State. He had chosen Michigan State over Purdue and Kansas, had visited Michigan State last week. Obviously, that went well. Before Georgia State, had spent 2 years at Jacksonville State. He registered 26 tackles, one and a half for loss, a sack, a pass defense, and a forced fumble. And then that had followed a stint at Troy where he started his collegiate career. So he's moved around and been a long journey, but he has made his way up to a Power Four conference, the Big Ten, which is arguably the best conference in college football right now. And he'll have a chance to be a solid contributor for this Michigan State edge rush. I don't necessarily see him starting. I think he has a solid track record, but nothing that really jumps off the page. We'll probably be we'll probably see some significant snaps as a reserve. Regardless, brings more depth to that area of the field. Michigan State obviously needed to address the rush end position, needed depth in that area, perhaps another starter, and they've done a pretty solid job at fulfilling those needs. With even before the spring had brought in um, Anelu Lafele from Wisconsin, and then David Santiago from Air Force, and then of course most recently before Cam Williams brought in Isaac Smith and um, the um, the kid from Hope, uh, Lamencusa, Lamencusa, Lamencusa. I don't know. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong either way, but he's a walk-on, mostly just kind of a depth piece for that room. But of course, Isaac Smith, a potential starter for at the rush end, and then Cam Williams, a guy who should see considerable time next year. But all in all, I think Michigan State has done what it's needed to in terms of the rush on position and the secondary as well. Really, all you can ask for. I mean, there's always more you can do, but I think, after things have been a little quiet on Michigan State's front in the transfer portal, I think they've done well at fulfilling the glaring needs, particularly on defense. And I, I keep saying it. I think this team didn't need to do a whole lot in the transfer portal this spring. Need to do something for sure, and they've done it in terms of addressing those needs. But it wasn't like last year where they lost a huge haul after the spring game. So they've still essentially got the bulk of the guys they had in spring camp, and that's going to be very beneficial in terms of that chemistry, in terms of camaraderie, familiarity with the systems, where a lot of transfers from the winter window, and they've gotten accumulated now, and so they've kind of got a little bit of a head start when uh, fall camp rolls around. So I think as far as what they needed to do, they've done it with the transfer portal. So, and again, like I said, you can always do more, and there's always going to be some sort of knock. You should have done this, done that. I personally thought, and I've said it before, they should have looked at running back still. Whether or not they haven't brought in one. I don't see it happening now. So at this point, I anticipate Elijah Toliver to be the guy. Although Brandon Tullis and Makai Frazier have experience with the program, but they didn't play a whole lot last year. So, um, while they'll be battling for that position, I think it will go to Toliver because he has the most experience and he just has a better track record. So, um, with all that said, thank you again. This was a quick little update here because not a whole lot going on right now, but we will keep you updated with anything else that occurs in the world of Michigan State as far as breaking news and, you know, anything and everything you need to know with your Spartans. So thank you everyone for tuning in and have a great rest of your week. Thanks.